Hey, Jim Toscano here, and welcome to the Hand Technique Workshop, the Thursday night live stream. And I have my little Zoom squad hanging in the wings. They'll be coming in any minute now. So tonight we're going to run through some routines. What did I do with my chat window? I left it across the room. I am going to get my chat window. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to bring in my little Zoom squad. And I'm going to get my chat window because I actually have to walk away with a mouse and use a different monitor, which is all the way across the room. So I'm going to bring in my Zoom squad. There they are. I'll introduce them in just a minute. Okay. We want that. And we want this. Switcher. Okay, cool. I could have put up the Be Right Back screen, but I figured they'll be more interesting to look at, these fine folks, than my Be Right Back screen. So this is the Hand Technique Workshop. If I'm not testing my chat yet, I'm just going to chat with my guys for a minute here. Let's just pull that window over. And as all of you know, this is usually or in the past was a live event. So it is no longer a live event, at least at the moment. Well, it is a live event, really, if you think about it. We are live. We are together. We are live streaming. So it is a live event, but it's a virtual live event, not an in-person live event. But we are going to run through some routines from my crazy booklet, which is now 80 pages. The 80th page doesn't count because it just has one blank bar on it, as I was telling my Zoom squad here, that last measure of blank page is signaling to be continued because there's going to be more routines to come. So, yeah, so I think we're all going to be warming up together because I basically just woke up a little while ago. And we're gonna warm up together. We're going to go through some, I'm going to do what I'm calling some oldies but goodies tonight. With the Hand Technique Workshop. We're going to go through some things that are standards for us in our little warm-up routines and hand technique routines, things that maybe we haven't done in a little bit that are favorites, at least favorites of mine. I don't know about everybody else, but all right. So let me introduce my little squad. So I'm up here in the corner, Jim Toscano right here. And if I point this way, Bob Sears on the top. There's Bob. We love Bob. Bob's wearing gloves. Those look like bike gloves, like riding bicycle gloves, right? Or motorcycles. Not motorcycles, maybe bikes. Yeah. I'm not a glove fan for drumming, but we'll have to chat about that. Cool. So underneath me, Ross Amoroso. There he is. That's Ross. He just ran a really fine event. It was a by invite only event, but man, he ran a really great event on drum history. So I'm really proud of Ross for dipping his toe into the masterclass pool, as it were, as a host and hosting other people. I know he's done some of that in the past, but this is his first event that he ran just himself with a special guest who was Daniel Glass and Kelly Ray Tubbs. That was pretty amazing. So kudos to Ross for that. And then if Ross points that way, then the other way. He could point to Lucia. Yeah, it's reversed. Yeah, exactly. Lucia Rose Seminara in the bottom corner right there, hanging with us tonight, playing some routines. Lucia probably has most of this book memorized. But we're going to go through a bunch of these things. Yeah, she's shaking her head. She has her Tom Petty shirt on tonight, which I love. By the way, every time I think of Tom Petty, because Tom Petty is an artist that I always wanted to see and never went to go see, and then he left us way too early. So, when things open up again, if you have artists you want to see live, go see them. Please, by all means. Go out, see shows, support local arts, go see musicians, go see shows, because you never know when one of those will leave this earth, and then you'll be going, why didn't I go see them when I had the chance? So Tom Petty's one of those people for me that I never got to see him live. And I've seen a lot of great shows. I actually started compiling a list of concerts that I've been to, starting from when I was a little kid. And it's a pretty long list. And I think I'm going to share it on, possibly a little bit of it on the Monday night live stream, which is coming up with Oh for Drum's Sake. Squad will be in there with me on Monday, which is going to be Bobby Angeletta, John Gill, and Janine Canino Fox. And we're going to be in there together talking about encouraging drummers and drum education, and also the Oh for Drum's Sake podcast and platform, with these interviews that Janine is doing, which is really spreading the joy of drumming from her lens, which I think is really amazing. So, and she really gives back to the drum community, because she's had me on as a guest, and Dom Famularo, and lots of other drummers on as guests, including some of my students. We had Lucia on as a guest on one of those live streams. So the Oh for Drum's Sake squad will be on my Monday night live stream, which I will send out marketing materials. I've been slacking on the marketing this week. I've been just so overbooked, but I'm going to get some marketing stuff out. So reminders about Monday at the Monday night live stream, 7 p.m. And there are lots of great guests coming up for the Monday night live stream coming up in April, actually kicking off March 29th, Dom Famularo. And then in April, we have the great David Garibaldi as a guest. We have the great Stanton Moore as a guest, and others to come, as well as March 15th, Vincent LaRussa and I will be going through some James Gadson grooves. And I learned a lot about James Gadson this week doing my research, and I'm going to share that with all of you about the great James Gadson, who played on so many hit records. Probably one of the most sampled drummers of all time, next to the James Brown drummers. And so it's pretty interesting looking at his history, the James Gadson discography. So anyway, with no further ado, we're going to play some things. So let me just quickly start scrolling this guy to accent patterns. So we're going to start with our usual fours, twos. I have fours, threes, twos. And going through, what I consider to be melodies of pumping motions. which is, you know, maybe not a completely new concept, but I like working on these things in groupings and musical applications so that you find a way to use this stuff on the drum set, that we're not just trying to play multiple strokes, but that we're using multiple strokes to play melodic thoughts. So by using clave patterns and so forth. So anyway, so here we go. We're going to start nice and slow at 100 beats per minute. Well, I guess that wouldn't be considered completely slow, but 100 beats per minute. So here we go. Right hand fours. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the left, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now three's on the left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 2's on the right, and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 2's on the left, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And in this up-down motion, just stay super relaxed. Don't hold your sticks too tight, nice and loose. We're going to move on to accent combo 1. I just want to get my mouse in position so I can, and I'll move it up to the top so we can actually see all 4 of these, because it goes in between pages, which I should probably fix that in hindsight. Okay, so now we're going to go to 3-2 son clave on the right. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1. Up, 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 up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 2 left. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 2 and 3, 4. Now rumba clave right. 1, dut, 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 dut. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Left. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 2. Bossa clave right. Bop, 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 bop. Left. Bop, Da, 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 da. Now, number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Last time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Left. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. All right, neutral. Now we're going to go to accent sequence number 1. We'll stay at 100 for the moment. So this is on the next page. Well, the same page as number 4. 1, 2, accent sequence 1, go, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and free strokes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap strokes. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, free strokes. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap strokes on the left. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, free. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap strokes. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, free. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, tap. All right, so hold it there in a tap stroke. And I'm going to move. I'll give you guys a page number in a second. Interlaced, the first page of Interlaced. I'll just do a couple of those. So that's page 7. I have to memorize the page numbers. What's wrong with me? Okay, so really we're doing the same exact exercises that we just did. We're just interlacing the left hand. So we'll just do this first group of interlaced 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go, and. So we still have 4s on the right. Getting my alerts. I meant to shut that off. On the left. So I use a diddle to change sides. And of course you can work on this at many different tempos. We're doing it pretty slow right now, but this is a great thing to try to work up your different rates and different tempos with. 1, 2, 3's on the left and form should stay the same. Last. Left. Again, work this at different tempos. Last 4. Left. Now we're doing 2's on the left. I mean the right, sorry. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and first train beat. And I'll count us into the left hand when we're ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, left. And you can use a diddle to switch sides again. And this doesn't take a lot of work. I mean, this should be really flowing. You can see that form is still the same. All right, I'm going to move forward back to neutral. Let's move all the way up to, so the interlaced combos, we can go over this now since we're here. Why not? The interlaced combos are kind of new, but I'm going to actually talk about it real quick. So, and that way we address it now, and we're going to move to some oldies but goodies. I'm going to stop for a minute. So, so the idea with the interlaced combos, it's the same thing we were just working on, but we're doing it in triplets, sextuplets, and then we're going to do the twos in 16th note triplets as well, which will present a quarter note triplet pulse. So we're going to get this 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. And then we're going to go to 4 note pumping, where we're going to be basically accenting half note triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. And so we're going to do that in sequence, one to the other. We're not going to do the switching with the diddle at the moment, but we're going to go right side only. Let me think of what tempo we should do. So this would be, is that okay, or should I bring it back a little? It's good? All right. So let's try that. So we're going to go one measure of 3 note pumping, one measure of 2 note pumping, one measure of 4 note pumping, and then, I'm sorry, one measure of 3 note pumping and then back. So it goes 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4. And really, it doesn't matter which side you're doing. Just pick a side and do it on that side. So 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. So that's the idea. And, you know, the fun thing about this is, you know, you're changing rate. You're still playing the same exact sticking. Jason Anderson, thank you, buddy. Our one person in the chat. Hey, man. Thanks for hanging. This is a cool exercise. I like this one a lot. And what's nice about it is, you know, you're really bringing out your sixes. And then when you play the different pumping motions, it just gets divided differently. And you can really kind of bring forward these different subdivisions just by changing your accent pattern, not even changing your sticking. And it's a great thing. You can work on it, you know, work on this at 60 BPM, work on it at 150 BPM wherever you're comfortable. And just remember that we're using that 3-note pump. So if you're keeping your 3-note pump, if you're wherever you're able to play that, the other hand is filling in very lightly. And then it's just changing up those different pumping motions. So super fun. I love this one. So I just want to address it a little bit tonight. And I will say that the other two, and you, of course, I wrote it so you can work on both hands. The next one does the same thing with double accents. So, and actually we'll play this one together at 100 and then we'll move along. But this one is the same idea, but instead of playing those individual hits for the threes, both hands are doing 3-note pumps. So now we get, right? And then when we go to the twos, back to threes, fours. So it just puts another dimension to this and makes it pretty interesting for playing. So we'll try this one. So this is double pumping. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and yep. So super fun. You know, we played a little faster than usual tonight, but definitely work it. Take your time with it. Play it at slower tempos and work it up. All right, let's talk about rate exchange. So this topic was new last time too. This is the next page, which is page, where's my goggles? I'll tell you right now. Rate exchange, page 12. So the idea of this is to, basically, it's kind of this a similar thing to collapsing and expanding a rudiment, but in a very literal sense, where we're going to kind of squeeze it like an accordion and open it up, and squeeze it like an accordion and open it up, or squeeze it further, as it were. So in the 5-stroke roll rate exchange, we're basically thinking triplets on the first measure of 5-stroke rolls in triplets. So 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. And then we're going to go to quintuplets. So we're just going to really completely make all of the notes evenly spaced. 1 E and a la, 2 E and a la, 3 E and a la, 4 E and a la, 1. And then we're going to go back to the triplet. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And then the final measure, we just go to 30-second notes on the and. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 1 triplet, 2 triplet, and then back to triplets. So if you're thinking of the pulse of each one, not all the nooks and crannies, not all the strokes, think about 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet into 1 E and a la, 2 E and a la, 3 E and a la, 4 E and a la, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 E and a la, 2 E and a la, 3 E and a la, 4 E and a la, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're using that grid of notes, you know, basically those pulses to fit this. So let me see what tempo we want to do. I think we'll do, last time I think we did 80. Yeah, well, this is 90, so I think this will be fine. Let's do it at 90. We'll try it together. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. And that's the gist of it. And what I recommend is, if it gives you any trouble whatsoever, work on one at a time with the metronome, one measure at a time, until it really can sit, right? So if we're doing just the first measure, Get that until it feels really, really good. And then you can move to the quintuplet one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you move to the last one, which is on the 8th note grid. 1 and 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then you could start piecing them together. And you can even do first measure, second measure, repeat that a bunch. Third measure, fourth measure, repeat that a bunch, and do them in groups of 2 until you put the whole thing together. The other practice suggestion is take each measure, play it 4 times. So it gives you a longer period of time to develop the feel between changing. And then you could start shortening that up. So you could go 4 bars of each measure, then 3 bars of each measure, 2 bars of each measure, 1 bar of each measure, and kind of go through it that way. All right, so rate exchange 7-stroke roll wasn't in the booklet last week, but it's in this week. So the way this one is written out is the first roll is going to be 7-stroke rolls in 32nd notes. So we're going to go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, so that one's pretty standard. It's similar to what we do in the workshop in the beginning. Oh, no, we didn't get there yet in the rolls section. But the accent is on kind of a traditional position. It's on the 1. When I just said traditional position, did you guys, this is totally off the topic, by the way, but you ever see Will Ferrell and Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers do the drum battle on Jimmy Fallon show? It's Ross. You never saw that? Oh my God, you have to see it. First of all, you know, anybody that's seen Will Ferrell knows that he looks exactly like Chad Smith. And it's really uncanny how much they look alike. And so Jimmy Fallon announces the 2 gentlemen that they're going to have a drum battle. And he says, this is a traditional drum battle. And Will Ferrell goes to repeat what he said. And he kind of flubs his words. And he goes like, it's a traditional drum battle. You know, and it was just like a funny moment. So whenever I say traditional, for whatever reason, the way my brain works, Will Ferrell pops into my head going, is this a traditional drum battle? So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. That is a very funny video. If you get a chance, make sure you see it. All right, so we're going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, right? So that one's easy on the grid. You're basically just counting 16ths and playing 30 seconds, right? So, and then when we get to the septuplets, where now the count, you know, oh, by the way, I'm looking and it's like all of the stickings are not written in on that one, are they? But it's, you know, so I was saying at a slow tempo, 1 E and Eandala, which is, it's hard to say, but it's easier than saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I use like 1 E and Eandala for the 7s. But we're going to basically play 7-stroke roll, just as the first one, but just completely spaced out evenly. 1 E and Eandala, 2 E and Eandala, 3 E and Eandala, 4. And that's our 7. So if we're playing like maybe 70. So that's where it's going to sit at 70 BPM. So it's a lot of notes to squeeze into one beat, but so the septuplets. And, you know, you just want to make sure that there's a couple ways to work on this, by the way. So most metronomes, you can't set up septuplets. I use a metronome app called Synked, SYNKED, where you can build chain metronomes. And you can pull up septuplets, sextuplets. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't go to 9s and above. So that's a little disappointing for me, but it goes up to sevens. And so I've created all these chains of from fours to sevens or threes to sevens, different groupings to stretch your imagination a little bit, make you play through those groupings. So check out Synced. It's an app. It's in the App Store or Google Play, I think, for Android. I have it for iPhone. It's a great little app. Annika Niles actually has a pack that you can download. You have to pay for that. But if you just download the app, you can create all your own chains. I can share my chains with you. So if you get the app and you say, hey, Jim, I really like that chain that's, you know, quintuplets to septuplets, you know, whatever, with gridded accents. I have some of those. I could share those chains with you. So that's one way to work on the septuplets. But again, at this tempo, let's do the first two. So we're going to go 1. And I'll do it again. You can see how it's a very slight relaxation that you have to do, where the first bar feels a little compressed, right? And then it opens up. You almost just have to relax. Right? 1 E and E and a la, 2 E and E and a la, 3 E and E and a la, 4 E and E and a la. And if you practice these slowly, you can say the crazy syllables that I'm trying to say, which Lucia and I are working on a solution for, like a better thing to say, because 1 E and a la works beautiful for the quintuplets, but 1 E and E and a la is a little tricky for the sevens. But 1 E and E and a la, 2 E and E and a la, 3 E and a la, 4. So, and of course there are, you know, other alternative ways to count that everybody knows about, which I've sent some sheets on, I think, to some of my students. Lucia got the sheet on various counting methods from around the world. But so I'm trying to develop my own simple syllables that'll work for this stuff. Oh, and then the final one, sorry, we're going to play the 6 strokes on the and of the bar. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So again, you're going from counting 16ths, septuplets, 16ths, eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So we're going to try this at 70 beats per minute. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Right? So the last one is very marchy. Marchy. It's very marchy. Very marchy sounding. It's very like nard. It's very nard sounding. Only drummers understand these things. We're nards, okay? We're a bunch of drum nards. So from like some of the sevens that are notated in the nard book, you'll see 2 eighth notes with a roll over the second eighth note with a 7 over it. So when you see that, you're looking at this. And usually that'll be in literature that has a triplet feel. This expands your mind a little bit because we're kind of, it's such a subtle expansion, right? We go from a little bit of a tight feel on the first bar, then it relaxes into the septuplets, then a little tight feel on the third bar, and then really tight feel on the last bar, and then it goes back. So we'll do it one more time. 1, 3 E and a 4 E and a. So that's the idea. So it's a fun little thing. And so I'm going to be writing more of these rate exchange with different rolls. And I think, you know, it has some real value. Now, this, I said I was going to do a bunch of oldies but goodies, and so far I've only done new stuff. So, oh, you know what's so funny? My coaching student is in the waiting wings, and we can see it on the live stream. I mean, just his name. We can't see him. I should bring him in and be like, hey, Mark, get your sticks. I'm putting you to work. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to move into some of the oldies but goodies, but I did want to plant a seed, and this is sort of a fun thing that I'm writing, and it's something that I do on the drum set sometimes in my live streaming drum set material, but I have this little exercise that I wrote. It's not on paper. I'm going to do it from my head. I'm going to explain it to you guys real quick. And this is shifting the simple paradiddle, shifting it on the grid, but not in the way that, like, sometimes you'll see people will change the sticking of the paradiddle to fit different positions on the grid. We're actually going to just take the whole paradiddle and move it to different positions on the grid. But the process to get there is you're going to play the paradiddle on the grid on the 1. Then we're going to move the paradiddles to the E, and you're going to play the same paradiddles on the E. And the concept to move it is you play one stroke, you know, whichever your leading hand is going to play one stroke, and then you start your paradiddles on the E with the other hand. Then we're going to move back to paradiddles on the grid, and then we're going to move it over 2 strokes. So you're going to start out with 2 strokes, right, left, and then the 3rd stroke starts the paradiddles on the and. Then we're going to go back to, and we're doing 2 bars of each. We go back to regular paradiddles, and then we're going to play a 3-stroke sequence, 1, 2, 3, and then on the we're going to start paradiddles on the and then we're going to move them back to the 1. So it sounds like, I'm going to play it just so you can hear it, and then I'm just going to show you how you do it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Oh, so I didn't do 2 bars. I did 1 bar of each. And the last one would be 2, 3, 4, 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1. All right, so 2 bars of each. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. And 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back, right? So, and the cool thing about it is, you know, we're just shifting the pulse. So it's really useful on the drum set for some kind of, you know, more time, what I call time shifting pulses. But we're moving it around. So if I was to go down to, let's say, so that was 100. So the first application is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, right, for 2 bars. And then I'm going to actually hit 1 with my leading hand, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. So if you were just to wait a 16th and just go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and play regular paradiddles on the E's, you would have that same feeling, right? So it would be, if I did this, and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, right? So I just waited and I started on the E. The other way to do it is put on 8th notes so you have more subdivisions to lock onto if you have trouble positioning that, right? Or put on 16th notes and you really could lock it in anywhere on the grid. But I think that if you put a quarter note pulse and you work on this, you get really good at just shifting it around. And so if I was to do 2 bars of each just on the beat and then on the E's, it would look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Okay, and my exit strategy is wherever I wind up, E and a is where it wound up with. I'm going to bring that hand back for the 1. So the exit strategy, and I'm writing this out, of course, for you guys, would be at the end of that paradiddle to go back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now moving to the ands is a lot easier because now you can go right, left, and then start your paradiddle on the and with your right hand, right? So if you were leading right, you could go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3, 4 E and a, right? And then when you get to the end of that one, it's and I'm going to start 1, 2, and then start back to my downbeat paradiddle. So watch. So here we'd be going 2 bars of downbeat paradiddles to 2 bars of upbeat paradiddles. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a... No, Mr. Schaefer, like another coaching student trying to call me in the middle of this. Why didn't I silence my phone? What is wrong with me? It stopped my metronome. So looking at it like this, 3, 4, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 1, 2. Now I'm on the left side. And if I do the same thing, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and 1, 2, 3, and then I'm back, right? And the trickiest one, I think, for people, the E's aren't as bad, but I think the trickiest one is the U's, because now you're going to play 1 E and a 2 E and, right? So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And another way to work on it is just wait 3/16 notes and start playing paradiddles. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Let's try that together without the metronome. Just I'm going to count 1 E and we're all going to come in on paradiddles on the So 1. So 1 E and So I'll give you just those 3/16. Ready? 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Right? So pretty easy. And you know, for grooving, it's pretty interesting what you can do with that. Like if I was playing it, I don't have a hi-hat set up here, but if I was doing this, 1, back to the right? It's got an interesting little feel when you shift that paradiddle over to the and the same thing with the E. And you know, David Garibaldi, man, he did a lot of this permutation shifting. If you look at his books, and like Future Sounds, you know, shifting things on the grid. And that's probably what planted that seed in my head as a kid. But I use it, you know, to some degree in my playing. And it's super fun. And you can come up with really interesting combinations. And like I said, you work each one of those positions. But the exercise that I'm writing out will have strategies to get into each one and to get out of each one over 2-bar sequences. And of course, you can expand those to 4-bar sequences, whatever you want to do. Or, you know, shorter sequences. You could do 2-beat sequences, right? You could play 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1, right? You could really put them all together if you wanted to. But it's super fun stuff, and it's not that difficult. It just sounds difficult, I think. All right, where's my glarses? So as promised, I did no oldies but goodies. Perfect. Even though I said I was going to. And we didn't even do the double stroke section. So I'm going to just move up to one oldie but goodie, which I'll give you a page number, which is going to be in the Flamilies section, because we haven't done any flam stuff in a bit. Man, there's some pages we have to go back to. By the way, I'm just spinning past syncopation application for the 6-stroke roll, page 35. We have to get back to that at some point. Holy moly! And quintuplet grids, like there's all this stuff we've just not been back to. All right, so I'm moving all the way to page in our short little pamphlet that we use. Our little, this is a pamphlet that encourages people to start playing the instrument. They'll look at this and be like, what is this, a phone book? Get rid of this. All right, let's see. Flams. All right, so Flamilies, we're on page 66, and we're going to do the Swiss Army Flam Top Combo, Mission Impossible, that whole deal. The first one. Let me get us a tempo. Oh my goodness. I'm in 2-2, first of all, the whole time. Where's my 4-4? Here we go. And I'm going to put eighth notes. Well, let's see. Where we want to play this at? I don't know. We haven't played this in a while. I want to give you guys something comfortable. Let me see. Sorry, we'll get this. So I say I'm going to go conservative. I'm going to go 90. And 1, 2, and 3, 4. All right, I'm sorry. One more second. So if we play this, if we play here, we're playing double, right, what that tempo is. We're cut timing this. Is that okay? You guys good with this? 3 and 4 and braga da braga da braga da braga da braga 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 da braga da braga da braga. 1, 2, we'll try it. 1, 2, ready, and go. And I feel like that's too much, right? Is that kicking everybody's butt? Or is that okay? A little bit? Let's hit 80. 1, 2, ready, and go. And top. Mission Impossible. Left. So that's the whole thing at we cut time that. So that was like 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a. And the reason I wrote it in 8/4 is because if we put it in eighth notes, it's just easier to read because it spreads it out really nicely. But basically, I'm going to speak it this time without a metronome. I'm just going to say the routine for somebody that doesn't know it, but it goes Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, switch. Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, top. So remember, the first measure repeats. The second measure, the first measure repeats. The second line does not repeat. The third line repeats. The fourth line does not repeat, but then it goes back to the top. It's a DS. So it's a 4-line sequence with 2 repeat signs in the middle of it. So, and then it has a DS. You go back to the DS and then you do it again. So one more time, it's Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, Swiss Army, Swiss Army, flam tap, switch. So now left side, flam tap, flam tap, Mission Impossible. Last bar, top. Right? So it's a really fun little sequence. It's a little hard to follow at first, but that's basically the gist of the one side. And that's my little Flamilies idea, where we're mixing and matching like rudiments, like families, where they're all together celebrating and eating cookies, which I love. Thank you. So anyway, tonight was fun. I had fun tonight. I'm glad all you guys were here with me, because that's what it's all about. It's all about coming together and sharing ideas. And in our little virtual drum hangs, we have this common bond, which is drummers. We're crazy people, and we belong together, because we all relate to each other on a very, very high level, a very unique level. And I always make the joke, I know, but there are no bassoon hangs like this. I'm telling you, is not happening. Those bassoon players are staying away from each other. So, and hopefully come November, we'll be in Indianapolis together, hanging out at PASIC. Maybe we can arrange for somehow Lucia to get out of school and go to PASIC. Maybe one of her parents will come, or we'll have plenty of chaperones. But you should definitely come. We're gonna have a good time, and hopefully these events will be happening again in the fall, and then we'll be back at NAMM. Hopefully all these things will open up next year. All right, so I'm going to wrap this little live stream up, and I thank everybody for hanging tonight. And I'm going to hit the normal closing titles that are for my other live stream, but because I haven't come up with any intro and ending titles for this show yet. I really should have a separate set of titles, so that's something I have to work on. But thanks for hanging. I'm going to go get some dinner, and I'll see you guys on the Monday night live stream with Oh for Drum's Sake, my whole little posse over there. We're going to have some fun right here, 7 p.m. Monday night. And if you don't already follow me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and I don't know, all those things. Send smoke signals. Who knows? All right, I'll talk to everybody soon. Be good. Closing titles. Let's...